sorry for the noise of the road here. Just waiting for a tram to go into the city of Melbourne. Today Irene's doing the Great Ocean Road, so I am popping into town to get a few last minute bits because tomorrow we are flying to a secret location. So my plan today is head into Melbourne, get a few last minute bits, and then if I have the time, which I really hope I do, I want to show you a few more of the sights of Melbourne. Because I feel like I haven't actually managed to show you that much so far. Now, I mentioned about a Mikey card. This is the Mikey card, which you need for, I'll give you a close-up, you need for the trams and buses in Melbourne. They're a bit of a pain in the arse in as much as you can't get them everywhere. Get them from 7-Eleven, our hostel had them. Some of the stations might do them, and you need to top them up to ride on the trams and buses. Again, you can top it up in 7-Eleven, or at some, not all, of the tram stops, they have little blue boxes where you can top it up either FPOS, so with your debit or credit card, or by cash. The trams, well, the trams are the trams. They're slow, but they do get you around, so that is always a bonus. So my plan is to head in, get some coffee and some food because I'm hungry and thirsty and I need caffeine, hit a couple of the shops for my bits, and then show you some of the sights. So I'm sat just outside Parliament building in sort of Parliament Square, which I'll show you in a second. There's lots of traffic. This isn't an ideal place to film, but I don't want to get in everyone's way. So this is the Parliament building. There you go. Isn't that lovely? Right, so I'm now going to walk a little bit to get to Fitzroy Gardens and show you Captain Cook's house. Well, that's the plan anyway. So there's some very interesting kangaroo looking sculptures over here, which as you can see is very, very popular for photos. I won't be getting a photo with them, but I thought I would show you anyway. This is just at the front of Parliament House. So we're going to walk down here. I believe I'm going to do a left onto, I think it's Wellington Parade, into Fitzroy Gardens, and then my plan is to catch a tram back because, to be honest, I'm fed up of walking and I've got to pack. I have to pack, which is always one of my most hated jobs. So I need to do that and maybe some washing, so that's why we're walking and talking all the way along. You definitely feel walking around that Melbourne has a bit more history than some of the other newer cities. The architecture, you can tell there's a lot of modern, but there's also some older architecture, which is kind of nice because Australia is a very new and modern country, really. Buses everywhere! Anyway, have a lovely statue. The old Treasury Building Museum. I don't know much about it. I feel like I should to tell you, but I'm afraid I don't. So we'll just walk on by. Walk on by. Ah, maybe this is the Treasury Gardens, which I'm going to walk past. I think it might be. Yes, it is the Treasury Gardens. There you go. The sign tells me things. It tells me things. Okay, so we're having a little detour through the Treasury Gardens because it's telling me on the signpost back there that it's only 300 metres to Fitzroy Gardens, in which case I can cut out all of the traffic and walk through some beautiful scenery instead. There seems to be some pond or water feature going on down there. I will show you as we get nearer. But I wish I could tell you something about Treasury Gardens. I'm sorry, I'm a naff tour guide. Have a look instead. Seems very nice. I'm nearing Fitzroy Gardens. I thought about going for it, but I think I may not make it for those cars. Oh, and especially with this one doing a U-E. Don't trust drivers in Australia. Top tip, do not trust them. If there is a pedestrian crossing, they may not care to notice this fact. If it's green for you to walk, they may not care to notice this fact. Is it safe? Who knows? No, probably not. Oh, this is long, isn't it? Very long.
Ja gut, das stimmt.
Anyone?
Ja, aber
Can we go yet? Maybe now?
ja, gut, das
Oh,
ist
finally. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, so we are at Fitzroy Gardens. We are here and we are going up here, so let's go. It appears from the signpost that there is indeed a visitors information centre. Now if I had more time I would take you in there, unfortunately I don't. So I will just make my way towards Captain Cook's cottage and give you the information that I do have on it. Conservatory, oh, and a fountain. Oh, there's a cottage. I think this may be it. I'm going to cheat and read the sign, which is actually pretty much the information I had anyway. So this is Cook's Cottage. Cook's Cottage was constructed in 1755 in the English village of Great Ayton by the parents of James Cook. It was shipped to Victoria and re-erected in the Fitzroy Gardens in 1934. The cottage commemorates Captain James Cook, who in 1770 mapped the east coast of Australia from Pitt Hicks in Victoria to Possession Island north of Queensland. And the oldest building in Australia is open daily. How exciting. Let's go and have a closer look, shall we? Now, the information it didn't tell you on there that I know, because I'm clever, is that it was actually shipped brick by brick. They don't know if Captain Cook actually ever lived in the cottage, but his parents certainly did. Maybe he visited, they don't know. And the cottage was put up for sale by a lady, and she was offered £300 for it, 300 English pounds, but she was then offered 800 English pounds from an Australian guy. Now originally she wanted it to stay in England, but she, after the offer of £800, decided that maybe the Empire would do. So this is Captain Cook's cottage. Oh, there's people dressed up. How exciting. Now I'm guessing to go inside you have to pay, which I'm afraid I'm not going to do, but we will just have a little wander around the outside. Also, just over there, literally behind the cottage, is the Visitors Info Centre, which you can see the eye just straight ahead. I'll show you as we come round a bit more. Oh, I'm in everybody's photos. It's very hard not to get in photos. Oh, here we go. Isn't that pretty? The other thing that sign didn't tell you is that apparently the ivy that covers the cottage was taken from a cutting actually from the village. So in theory it's actually English ivy that has taken root here in Melbourne. Now I can't get much closer, but I'll just show you what I can. Sunshine's not so great in that direction. Maybe I should have shown you a bit more. Oh, it's muddy. It's muddy. Ooh. Here we go. It should be better from this side. So other than the gardens and Captain Cook's cottage, it would appear there are a few other things you can do in Fitzroy Gardens. There appears to be a model Tudor village and a fairies tree, which sadly I'm not going to have time to go and look at. I'm going to have to head back. I'm really sorry. I kind of want to do a little summary of my time in Melbourne for you in beautiful settings. Where should we go? Let's go over here, shall we? I kind of would like to go somewhere a little quiet. I don't want to offend anybody. Not that I have anything bad to say, it's just the truth. Oh, this will do. Nice little shaded area. Beautiful. How do I feel about Melbourne? I was very excited about coming to Melbourne. I'd heard so many good things about it. Everyone that I had spoken to that had been loved the city. And I guess I had kind of high expectations. I also don't know if it helped that we came from Sydney, which was a city that I didn't expect a lot from and actually really loved. So I suppose maybe that even made me think Melbourne would be even better than I'd originally thought. I don't know. Came with very high expectations. Now we only have had 4 days here, and I think it's fair to say that it's probably a city that grows on you. I think ideally I would have liked longer than 4 days to explore and really get to know the city. It has lots of positive aspects. Like I said, it's got beautiful architecture, amazing cafes and coffee everywhere, restaurants. You can pretty much eat any food from all over the globe in Melbourne. I mean, in Fitzroy yesterday, just walking down Brunswick Street, the main drag, we saw Ethiopian, we saw Indian, Thai, Italian, Greek, you name it. You could have pretty much any food you wanted. Also, the things that are really good is it's a very arty city. Like, you can see that from the graffiti and the street art. There's not many cities that would leave that amount of street art all over it. Coming from someone that loves their art, that's a really cool thing. I'm really sad I haven't actually got to go to the National Gallery of Victoria. That's something, again, I would have liked a bit of extra time for. I know that the music scene's meant to be amazing. Some of the buskers in the streets have been fantastic. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to see much more of that. But I think my advice with Melbourne is don't come expecting too much. Come with a bit of an open mind and a blank slate. And also try and give yourself a while to discover it, because it has grown on me over the last few days. I didn't like the city at all at first. I just found it too big, too busy, too difficult to get to places. Although the trams are really good, it's just frustrating. There are negatives in there, but I think if I had a few more days, I probably would come away with an even better view of the city. Some of the suburbs are definitely the places you want to head to. St Kilda's amazing, Fitzroy was really cool, would have liked longer to find out about there. The CBD is just a CBD, it's the city centre, loads of shops, loads of people. Yeah, there's good stuff around, but don't be expecting too much from the city centre itself. It's the suburbs you kind of really want to explore, I think. If you know someone in Melbourne, or you're on a backpackers group, or you've just met travel buddies that have been here slightly longer than you have, ask them to show you the cool spots, because I think you only find those places through people that know the city pretty well. There's so many laneways, there's so many little places, and I bet most of the good stuff is tucked away. So if you can find someone that knows the area, try and get them to show you around, and yeah, get longer than 4 days. So that's it from Melbourne. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you liked the video, please subscribe. I will see you guys soon. Don't forget to also check out Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Bye!